Okay, so welcome to our CSS class. This is our first class on CSS. And CSS is quite simple and easy, something you would fall in love with over the time. And you would bear witness with me that your HTML is not often looking attractive, yeah, when you do it. Like, unlike when you add CSS to it. CSS helps you beautify your HTML project. And what do we refer to as CSS? CSS refers to um, cascading style sheet, which is the styling sheet we use for beautifying, adding beauty in a layman's term to our HTML page so that it's much more appealing and I mean looking good, looking better. So we'll be talking about HTML with some CSS today. Sorry, I'm coming from that angle. Okay, now real quick, I would we would learn some little command lines to alongside today. Don't worry, we learn on each class, so meaning you can afford to miss or skip a class because you're learning something new alongside what you're learning. Okay, and today we are going to do everything we've been doing from the mobile development class and to into this section of I mean PC development this time around. And so we are starting a project. I would call it. Let's create a directory for it. mkdir. We call it. Let me call it simple site. We just want to have a simple website in place. Simple site. Okay, okay, I think it's good this way. The reason why I'm not spacing between the simple and the site is because if I space it, this command mkdir believes that I am creating two different projects. Do you understand? So in case you make the spacing, you would realize that you have created two projects, but we want it to be one. So I have it this way most times, and this way is a way of writing JavaScript. We call it. It's a casing for JavaScript. We have two, three casings for I mean programming. We have the Camel casing, we have the Pascal casing, and stuff like that. So, and we'll come back to all those when we get to JavaScript. Yeah. So, but let's continue from here. Now, so I create the folder simple site. I think you can see the folder here. The folder is standing right here. And so for me to go into the folder, don't forget the command. I told you that anytime you're wanting to enter into a folder, meaning this is where we want to work from. Once I want to enter into a folder, I press CD and the name of the folder. Yep. So now can you see my directory has changed from web development 101 to simple site, the directory I created now. Okay, normally I'm supposed to just on your git bash, if you're having a git bash, you should be able to do touch to create the files. You just touch whatever files you want to create and it goes right there. But this is just a normal command prompt I'm using, so it's virtually on almost everybody's system, like every system that has this. But in case yours doesn't have it, don't panic. Just go online to Git and download Git Bash. We call it Git Bash, yeah. So from there you Git Bash and you right click. After you've installed, right click and then you Git Bash. It's not here, but we can always make do with this. Now let's go on with this. So cd simple site and so here at this point I want to get my job started. So for me to get the job started, I want to use this command prompt, this bash here, to wake up my VS Code without doing any stuff there. So I would type code space dot. There's a space in between code and dot. Code space dot. Once I press enter, it would go and wake up VS Code for me and tell it there's a work to be done. So now my VS Code is awoken. Is if there's anything like that, is up and ready to work. Now, so here I need to add some files to my project now. So I want to add the first file, that is the index.html. HTML, which is the normal thing to do. And then don't forget that to add the syntax, I just do Shift 1. It's already written all for me in VS Code. So I only do Shift 1 and then I have the whole syntax. Now I want to change the title of our site to Simple Site. To Simple Site. Okay. And to have this done, I just want to create the H1 tag. H1 tag. Okay, and once I create this H1 tag, it would help me add my header to it. Sorry. Let me. Okay, header. Let's call it Simple Beauty. Let me make it in capital letter. I can choose to. Okay, let me just make it easy and cool. Simple Beauty. Okay, and then underneath it, I put a P tag there, just a simple website. A P tag that says making web pages like that. So making web pages so if we have this as this making, oh sorry, I wrote web pages. Now okay, so once we have this here, I save it, Control S. If you notice, if your system is not auto saving, it would have one this zero, this round thing until you save. Once you save, it comes back to to this point. So do you notice that my H is not on this point? It is here below this body. Yeah, so and that's in programming, we refer to that as indentation. Indentation, INDENTATION, indentation. Okay, so that's referring to the right spacing for every of our programming work. It makes your work neat. It makes your code readable and understandable, even for the compiler to interpret. Now, so we go on a step further here, and here we can have, for us to make it simple and easy, let's have a span. We'll have a span here, and inside this span we can say, let me just use the word logo. Yep. Okay, so now let's save this and see how it looks like on our web page. We want to, Simple Site. Okay, fine, logo. So this is logo here, and okay, so sure, this doesn't look good, right? It's very obvious it doesn't look good yet, but we have to make it look good. So for us to make it look good, it's so simple and easy. Now we have to create a file called by name CSS. I'll call it style.css. Can you see what I called it? Mine is style.css. Now so once I have that style.css here, it is inside it I want to write my CSS styles. Now for me to to divide the screen into two, I'll press on this button here, so it allows my CSS or whichever thing I'm presently on to fall on this side, so I can cancel this and we can see the two sides of the job together. Now for me to create the linking to bring the CSS to my HTML here, I would just type the word link here. Once I type link, we would have it this way. And now you see your cursor is blinking in between that href. You just type dot and /. Once you type dot /, it leads you to everything you have there, and you can click on your styles.css. So you have that style.css there. So anything I do here would be taking effect here. If I want to check, It's so simple. Now, for example, um, let me do what we call universal selector. That's the asterisk sign on 8, on number 8. So now look at this. If I say background color should change to aqua, for example, and I save that. Yep. So when I save this and I come here to refresh this, you would realize that the background color has changed to aqua. Do you understand? So hence it is effective and it's working fine. So, and we can always kickstart our job from there. Okay, let me change this color to deep pink. I think that looks a little good and better. Sorry, deep pink. So we have it this way. Oh, I didn't save that. That's the problem of not saving when you work. So that's why you need to download the extension called autosave. So that would help you save your jobs while you're working. So can you see the color has changed also to deep pink? Okay, so it's functional. Now I'll just run through what we would do together. So we would learn after this class, would pick each thing to learn one after the other, so we'll understand what to do. Now CSS is quite interesting in the sense that what we do in CSS is just to select elements here. This is the attribute or the property we want to give it, and this is the value. Can you see? Element, property, value. But it will have this format. The format is what we refer to as a syntax. Syntax refers to how you must arrange your language. It's also the same in every language. I mean, humanly spoken language now. We have what we call the syntax of every language, of each language. Like the way you write in Swahili will be different from the way you would write in English. I mean, even in Arabic writes, I think, from right to left. Yeah, sure, right to left, while English writes from left to right. So if you cannot claim to be an Arabic writer and write from right to left. I don't know if you understand. So it's just the same in programming languages. Your syntax must be effective and on point. That's the word. Okay, so for us to make sense there, let's quickly just make do with some of these things. Let's select the tag called logo here. Sorry, please pardon me, I made a mistake there. I wanted to type span. So span here. Can you see the curly braces? Once I have the curly braces there, I can press enter in between them and they have to give way. So let me put the span. Let me see how I would get this done. Do I put the span? Okay, let me leave the span on the left. Okay, and I want to target the H1. So I would say H1 here, and then give it the feature and say something like H1. Let me do color. Let me make it white or something close to white. WHIT. Can you see? Yeah, so white. Now let's see if it's working. Yeah, it's now white, so it's getting beautiful. So okay, now let me change the font family to let me font weight to bold, just to have it a little deeper in look, and font size to, let me set a font size of 100 pixel for now, so that we can see how it goes and what we can do with this. 100 pixel. Okay, this is getting bigger. So let me change the font itself. Font family, we call it. Don't worry, we'll learn all these things. I just like us to code along before we start. So some of those analysis will be made simplified. You wouldn't feel lost in between. Okay, so We have, oh sorry, I didn't save that, sorry, so sorry about that. Okay, so fine. I think now our site is making sense. Now we want to make it sit in the middle. So for us to put it in the middle here, I just have to do text align center. So because it's still a text, so it would come to the middle, and then sorry, can get to the refresh button right now. Okay, so I think it's in the middle. Yeah, it's in the middle now. So we need it bigger than it was before. Let me do a size of 200. Let's see if it's not too big for us to utilize. Oh, it's too big, sorry. Let me reduce that to 150. Okay, 150. Simple beauty. Okay, fine. So, and making web pages. Now let's go for the next thing underneath that. Okay, making beautiful web pages. Okay, now if you notice something, this guy is in capital letters and small letters. I want to make everything fall into capital letters. So I put all in uppercase here. So I use text transform uppercase. Please feel free to pause the video anytime so that you can catch up with what we're doing. I didn't save that. That's the reason for which is not taking effect. Okay, so let's quickly deal with the P also. We have our P. Okay, and then let's give P a color of white. Let's say white. Yep. White. Let's say here we have font. Okay, we can put a font family of okay. I would have preferred Lucida also, but I think Tahoma would have been better off. So let me remove these guys here so we can just use only Tahoma. Yep. Sorry. Every of these things you would get to understand when we start our class. You would understand what they represent and why we do them this way. So now, simply beauty. Now this guy is now white. So we have to fix him. I'll fix it underneath the space we have. Sorry, I'm trying to get this done in a simple way. Okay, and so here, let's put a button here. Let's do button. Okay. Let's do register. Let me type the word register now. Here. Let's use register now. Let's do login. Let's type the word login here, and then on this second side we can have, I think we can have, okay, another button that would state something like later. Yep, I think that's good. So yeah, please feel free to pause the video at any time to follow up, at least to understand what we're doing so far. And so now this is our okay, so our button is here. Can you see the two buttons looking beautiful? And okay, so now let's put our logo. We have nothing to do with them for now, with the logo for now. Let's just change the color to white. We are using a text, so it's not really a logo like that. So let me change the color to white smoke. Let's a family of the white. Yep. So, and we would have it that way, just this way, so that it can take effect and make some more sense. Now it's white in color. Now to have it much interesting, since this is just the beginning class, let's change our piece font size. So we go with font size. Let's go with the font size of let's say 80 pixel for now. 80 pixel. 80 pixel. Okay, so 80 pixel. We have not saved that, and that's the reason for which it's not showing yet. But once we save it, we go 80 pixel and we would have it this way. Yeah. Okay, 80 pixel is kind of big, kind of large. 70, I think it's okay. That way should be okay. Oops. Okay. Okay, so making web pages beautiful. Okay, and okay, let me bring this guy down to 140. 140 here, 70 there, and okay, so now okay, so we have it's okay here, and now let's quickly take a simple dive into don't worry, it's not responsive yet because this is our first class, so we're not aimed at creating a responsive website for now. Now let's select our buttons, button, and we have it this way. Okay, so let's do this might not pick up fine. Okay, text align center might not pick up fine, like pick up fine. Yeah. Okay, so are we together now? So let's go on. So now, because it's not a text, I know. So justify content center should have been the option to use, or we use margin, margin, and then we set it to 0. Okay, justify content center. Okay, I think this should do something worthwhile. Yep. Oh, it's not moving. Okay, thank you for not moving. So we'll do margin. So we'll say margin, and then we give it 0. Oh, sorry, I've not been saving. Sorry. Oh my god. Wow, sorry. So sorry about that. Okay, so and let me remove the margin from the button. Okay, for the button, we would be using. Let me try the text align again. Text align center. Okay, it wouldn't take that. Okay, so for us to have a balance of this whole thing, let me align this text, this guy, to the middle first. Let me align this to the middle, to the center. Okay, and so here we would not be using text align because of because this is not a text. The button is not a text, it's an element on its own. So in that case, we would be making do it. Let's see if the P aligns first. So let's see our P aligning. Voila, it has aligned. So our P is aligning. It's looking much beautiful. Now we want to just put the buttons in the middle while we style the buttons. And to do that, we'll be using the simple tool